In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 alternatives to guardianship that will help your loved one maintain their freedoms and rights and help position your loved one as a valued person in their community and in their family. Okay, so let's jump into it here. The 5 alternatives to guardianship. Alternative number 1 is focused on financial. And I guess let me just pause for a moment and say that these alternatives, it's kind of like a menu of picking, well, what's going to be working best for your loved one. It's not just maybe one alternative, but maybe even 5 of them, all 5 alternatives working together to support your loved one, to protect maybe some of the vulnerabilities that they have. Okay, back into it. First alternative to guardianship around financial would be a joint bank account or joint bank accounts. Okay, so once someone turns 18, right, they could legally have their own bank account. And if it's only your loved one's name on the bank account, other people legally won't have the right to get access to that bank account. So joint bank accounts solves a big part of this challenge, right? Because if 2 people's names, maybe a parent or a sibling or a trusted family member also has access to that bank account, they can support the person with a disability with their money, specifically with that account. So something to consider. The other thing to consider within that is, I mentioned multiple bank accounts. So you could consider setting up a savings account and a spending account. And the spending account might have, weekly or monthly spending budget within that your loved one can have more discretion over. And the savings account, maybe that's where money is more protected. Maybe there's more securities set around that where that money just can't be spent or accessed as easily, right? So again, this is thinking about safeguarding your loved one's vulnerability financially. Okay, now the second alternative to guardianship is, let's talk about medical healthcare, right? The worry about our healthcare decisions being made for our loved one, especially once they become an adult. Now, what I want you to encourage you to do here is to look into the laws in your country, in your province, in your state that looks at who can help people make those medical decisions. Depending on where you live, closest family is often included in being able to make decisions for someone who cannot make those decisions or can make support to make those decisions. So within laws that already exist, it might be the case where somebody is already able to support your loved one to be making those sorts of decisions. Okay, so I encourage you to research that to see what the laws state around medical and making decisions or supporting someone to make decisions around medical. Okay, now the third alternative that you can consider is something called power of attorney. Okay, so power of attorney is where your loved one can appoint someone that can make decisions. Often it's separated between financial or property decisions, assets, and healthcare decisions, right? So often there's 2 different types of power of attorney. So your loved one can appoint someone to be making those decisions on their behalf or support them to be making those decisions. Okay, so it's like a lighter alternative to guardianship. It's not to be making decisions about everything, but it's more restricted to financial and healthcare. Okay, so it's an alternative that you can consider. Full disclosure here, you should be talking to a lawyer who has knowledge on disability law and is well versed in the alternatives to guardianship, including power of attorney. Okay, so power of attorney definitely worth exploring to see if that is a fit and better suited for your loved one. Okay, the fourth alternative to guardianship that you want to be considering is trust. Okay, trust that you might have heard of: United States Special Needs Trust, Canada Henson Trust. Basically what this is it's a assets, financial assets, can be held on behalf of your loved one, and there is a trustee, which is someone other than your loved one that has oversight and management of those funds on behalf of your loved one and needs to be using those funds to the best benefit of your loved one, right? But what it does is it protects your loved one's government benefits or social security benefits, okay? So your loved one can still receive those while holding those assets. So this is a super important one to put in place and to further research. So the last one that I want to share with you is something called supportive decision-making agreements. Okay, supportive decision-making agreements. So this is a newer concept in general, and it depends on where you live, what jurisdiction, what state, what province you live in, if these supported decision-making agreements will be held up in a court of law. Again, so you need to research that, but what is a supportive decision-making agreement? Well, it's a written document, in some cases a legal document, that states that one person or multiple people can support your loved one to help them make decisions on specific things. And those specific things can be specified, right? So that person could potentially go to court with your loved one to support them in making legal decisions, or to the bank to make financial decisions or medical decisions. Okay, so a supported decision-making agreement. I encourage you to see where the laws are, where you live, for supportive decision-making agreements, because it allows your loved one to get the support they need, but also maintain their freedoms and maintain their rights. So there you have it, 5 alternatives to guardianship. I really encourage you to research these deeper, exhaust them before considering guardianship, because again, guardianship removes your loved one's rights and freedoms. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, I encourage you to scroll down, click the link below to subscribe to get more of these videos on a weekly basis. And also, if you're thinking about life planning, right, and planning for the future, I really encourage you to get my free life planning 101 guide that's going to help you to look at your loved one's holistic life, to support them to be building their own awesome ordinary life and to be preparing them for more independence. So go ahead, scroll down, the link's there for you. It's free, just enter your email address and I will email you your copy. So I'm Eric Gall. Thanks for watching. Together, let's take a small step forward this week.